Welcome everyone, and here is what happened in my stock market long-term investing portfolio last month. The aim is to get £1 million, of course, and I want to try and get that by 2050, and I'll be adding a monthly deposit in consistently every month to set some good habits for myself. So we start off with the quality companies. Bank OZK is the top, so straight into the performance review. Great month there, up 18%. Overall, a 77% return to the end of November since I purchased the stock, and it's a fifth at 5% of the portfolio. Then go down to the next biggest position, which is Dropbox, and that's edging up towards that 30% total return in around about 3 years. And then Visa as the next one, 3% of the portfolio, and I'm now up on that position. Google has also edged up over the last month to almost a 40% total return in around about 12 months. And then a fantastic month, Williams Sonoma up 27 percentage points. So it's a 61% return. And I only bought that stock this year. The company we looked at in our stock group, in our private stock group, check out the Patreon for that one, because that's where this idea came from. We looked at it and it's done really, really well. Skyworks. Now, Skyworks is about 2% of the portfolio, getting on for 2.5%. Really good month, back in the positive on that. Same for Adobe in November, up 15 points, moving towards the £1,000 mark. And Elevance ticking along there, as it has done for the last 3.5 years. You get on to Unilever, which is hovering around about the £700 mark. And then a good month for Kelly Partners, total return for this Australian company, 56%. We get now to the most infamous Berkshire Hathaway, with the very sad news, of course, what's happened with Charlie Munger, so rest in peace there. Great man, but certainly the performance of this company in my portfolio has been very good, 89%. Since purchase in 2020. Again, American Express very similar, and of course a big Berkshire holding, up 20 points for 88% return here, again purchase in 2020. Then Facebook, which was new in the previous review, and up 4% in month, so level on that one. It's InMode, which recovered somewhat last month, so still down low 20% on that one. And Somero Enterprises recovered a bit this month, but again, still down on that one. But happy with that quality companies portfolio. There are definitely more quality companies I'd like to add. However, I would be overpaying for some of them at the moment, which is why that hasn't happened. Now into the dividend section of my portfolio. Dividend Group had a really bad month. It's still up 128% and still one of the largest positions, along with Bank OZK, over £2,000. Viva, which edged up in the last month as well, so very happy with that position, over 3% of the portfolio. And Legal & General, quite a similar type of company per se, in terms of it's 3% of the portfolio, quite dividend focused, but the return on that one hasn't quite been as good, but still 11% up. We're on to Investec, a very good month in November, almost £800 there, up 290%. British American Tobacco, broadly level. US Bancorp recovered significantly, so broadly level there. One of the ones I'll be selling pretty soon. BT Group, good month there, almost 20% up on that one. Definitely one of the worst quality companies there in the overall portfolio. Citigroup, again, a really good month for banks in November, up 10 points there. And then Direct Line, good recovery, so now back to green on Direct Line. I do know that there are several of you who view these videos that do hold Direct Line, so let me know in the comments below that you continue to hold. Cyclical Investment Group, level on month, plus 500, pretty much level on month. And then Duke Royalty, pretty much level on month as well. That takes us to the next part of my portfolio. The next part is the managed section, managed by others, protection against my failure if I muck up. 5% total return on Fundsmith, added the usual £100 monthly contribution to that position, That was the only main trade in the last month, other than the cash section, which we'll come to later. And in fact, at the end of this video, stick around, because at the end of the video, you'll see how the overall portfolio looks and the progress until I hit my target. Now, moving on from Fundsmith, FTSE 100, a good month, positive on that one. As with the Linsell Train UK equity, back to the 100% club. FTSE 250, again, a good month for that one, looking at £900 there, 2% of the portfolio. And all these indexes pushed on in the last month. It was a positive month, 7% up on the US index. UK smaller companies done well there. Even the Pacific area. And the S&P 500 up 6 points in my holding, so 20% return on that one. World index positive as well. And Australia, that one. So we then go to the cyclical companies part of my portfolio. Coal miner, Alpha Metallurgical Resources, they're very symmetrical, £1,111 holding, up 73 percentage points. Last month, total return of 543% overall. Really good there. And I have actually taken a lot of profit off the table. Those of you who are longer term, you'll remember that one. Another coal company here, Ramaco, over 100 percentage points a month, plus 423% overall. Intel, really good month, moving back on that one, about £500 holding. Bitcoin, funnily enough, up 7 points. And Ethereum up back to positive on that one as well. Very small portion of the portfolio, of course. And then Altisource, overall still performing poorly. And then finally, to the companies that don't really fit any particular criteria, companies that already had in the portfolio when I adopted this strategy, so I wouldn't buy them today. Alibaba, down 8%, so down almost half on that one. Too much money invested in that one. If you look at that, if you work that one back, I'm down half. It's over £3,000 invested. That's not how much I put into any single position now, because I don't want to add in any one position more than 5% of the portfolio value. Yeah, big exposure on that one. Corsair, down about half as well. Cumulus, down half as well. Theme in this section, S4, pretty appalling. And then two very, very bad investments to finish off here. So that's the performance of all of the holdings, fully transparent, month-on-month change and total return on everything I've got. Now, the overall portfolio was 44,000 last month. It's now increased almost 46,000, which is on target to hit the run rate to get the portfolio £1 million by 2050. That stretch target there. Since the last review, the previous month, over the month of November, with the deposits and a performance improvement of almost £1,500, the portfolio is almost £1,800 bigger, which is a nice month-on-month movement. It's about 4% or so. Where does that leave with the run rates? To get that 2050 target, 9.72% per annum every year, £300 a month going in until 2050. That's when I get the million, 9.72% a year. And this is the structure of the portfolio, 29% that quality company section. I want that to get bigger. Cash, 20%. Now, do note with cash, I have added actually in the last month some of the cash into cash equivalents, which is UK government gilts. Not going to lose money on it in terms of the failure risk. It's close to risk-free as you can get. But those two sections, cash and quality, is half the portfolio. Cash is probably still a bit too big, but I'm not just going to spend it for the sake of it or invest it for the sake of it. So there's unclassified there in red. Doesn't really form part of the strategy. So there's still more work to do here, but it's getting more and more towards what I want. But that quality section does need to be bigger. And shout out to those in the private group. Thank you for your support. And of course, to everyone watching, if you made it this far, please consider joining the group if you want to talk stocks, investments. No financial advice given, of course, but we can talk in general terms. But most importantly, have a great Christmas, and I'll catch you all next year.